Hey everyone, it's me, Nathan from Nathan's Way, and happy Self-Love September! Today we are going to be talking about self-love, and this is take 1,532. That sounds about right. No, not really, but whatever. So, I have tried to talk about this subject for a little long while, and nothing seems to really feel right. I made this really nice edited video that when I watched back, it didn't feel right for me to upload that and for it to be the main take back. So I want to talk about my self-love journey, where I'm at, and some of the obstacles, some of the solutions to those obstacles, and maybe a firm agenda so I can move forward and progress in my self-love journey. So, self-love. What does self-love mean to me? Self-love to me means having the confidence to be your own best friend. I know it sounds simple, right? And to some it is. To me, it's not. There have been times where I think I truly reached that, but then I had a shift in life where it just collapsed and it didn't fit. And so now it's time for me to re-examine, to share what's been going on, and to see how I can move forward with it. So, some of the obstacles I have with this is, I got my notes. Okay, so, self-doubt. I deal a lot with self-doubt. Those little, the little self-doubt gremlins that hide in the back of your head, that pop up at random times, at random situations where you just want to, so I have self-doubt, and I suffered from self-doubt for a long time, and self-doubt has a tendency to put downs, to put stuff that I know it's not true in my head, hey, sometimes they pop up when I look in the mirror. I mean, that's been happening a lot recently. And sometimes I go periods without looking in the mirror because of that self-doubt. So that's a struggle for me. And so self-sabotage has to also do with self-doubt, because something in me, I know, feels like I'm not worth the success I know I can reach. And it is hard. It is hard for me to talk about because I don't talk about it at all. Except for maybe one or two people who know. Now, things I self-sabotage with are taking the wrong opportunities, not taking an opportunity at all, deciding to go this way instead of that way. And I've done those multiple times, and I've learned from each and every one of those, but I still find myself in those situations sometimes. Now, I took a wrong internship that promised me the world, and I had doubts about some of the people, and I didn't listen to that, and I knew that I was going to be shot in the foot and not get paid for the services I did. So, and then that grew into me not wanting to partake in the field I studied in. So, I moved on from one other job to another job. I mean, and I'm looking for another career change as well. So, that is what I'm talking about when, for like when I self-sabotage in like career-wise. Now, I've self-sabotaged on different adventures where I took the wrong bus one time, and because I wanted to stay in one place, or I didn't schedule a bus until very last minute because it's a thing I do. I mean, I love going on buses, and I love going on trains and planes. I love the sense of going somewhere. That is what I love, but I sometimes don't want to. I want to stay longer at the spot I'm at, or I want to explore the spot I'm at, or I'm happy at the spot I'm at, and I just don't want to go back to the mundane. So I've self-sabotaged in that way. I have also been invited to many witchy opportunities, like personal, like witchy classes, magical classes that I was afraid to take because I have imposter syndrome, and that can be another obstacle in on itself. And it really nags at me because I don't do certain things that other people do. And that is the worry of someone telling me, oh, I'm doing it wrong, or I should be doing it this way instead of that way, is a little fear. Is a little fearing. It's fear striking. Because I also have anxiety, I have a lot of other things, but with that is I missed opportunities to learn from some wonderful, interesting people because I was afraid that I would be found out as a fraud, which I know I'm not. I just do things my own way. But this wasn't necessarily me showing what I know. This was about them showing me. But it's still, like, I knew that when they offered it to me, but I just, again, it's a powerful thing when the self-sabotage, the imposter syndrome is a very powerful thing that if you cannot break the cycle, it can be crippling at sometimes. And there have been opportunities where I could talk with other people on YouTube that I wasn't ready or comfortable with because of this self-sabotage, because it was going to be live. It was going to be live. It was going to be really, like, it was going to be live. And the way my information in my head translate to the outside, I could be thinking one thing but expressing it another. Like, and I even worry about putting my foot in my mouth or saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. And I even fear in some of the online classes I take because they have these Zoom meetings now where you can talk and interrupt, and I'm fearful of interrupting at the wrong time. So that has a lot of things that need to be unpacked in on itself. That's a whole lot of shadow work. That is a whole lot of, like, things to pull out. But that is a huge obstacle. And that ties in with mental health, because with mental health is huge. It's a bigger topic now more than ever, and I think the stigma is dwindling down because a lot more people are talking about it, but my mental health is something that I've never really wanted to talk about, even with the few therapists I've had. I mean, I just avoided that like the plague because I didn't know how to express it. I didn't know what I'm doing. I don't know what at all. And I had a fear of being diagnosed. I didn't want to be diagnosed with depression or any of those anxiety. I didn't want to be diagnosed because I feel like I felt dash feel. I still have to work on it. That being diagnosed is a label. It is permanent. It is a thing. And I know that's a lot of stigma talking, and that's a lot of my own shadow talking, but I never wanted to be diagnosed. I never really wanted to talk about it with anyone. And here I am talking about it on YouTube. But it's something that I have to work with and work through. And I feel like mental health is a very important subject that I'm just feeling okay to talk about. And I understand that, yes, there is stigma around it. Yes, the stigma is stupid, and even though someone might have mental health concerns, doesn't make them any more or less human. So, it's the thoughts, and it was, mental health has never been necessarily talked about in my immediate family, or never talked about, a lot. So it's a thing. It's a thing. So those are some of my obstacles that I am currently dealing with. Now, what are some of the solutions? Well, some of the solutions are taking a pause and re-examine opportunities, re-examine where I'm at, and taking the opportunities that will, and not be afraid of it, not being afraid of the imposter syndrome, not being afraid, and maybe talking to the people who I want to work with, who I want to collab with, and do a thorough investigation before I take another job. Those are some of the solutions that I can do for self-sabotage. And the imposter syndrome. Talk to the person who I'm chatting with. Talk to, just communicate. Use communication to figure out more. And maybe calm yourself down and express your fears, express what you have going on, and just know that it's okay. And again, asking for help, going to a therapist, there is nothing wrong with that. And I do plan to seek help eventually, but at the moment, my insurance won't cover it, and those online therapy sessions, they're very pretty pricey out of pocket. So I gotta look into those and maybe price compare. That's something I never thought I would say. Usually, I mean, insurance should cover it, but it doesn't. So, and being able to set boundaries. Like, one of the obstacles I also had was being in constant toxic situations that I don't want to be in. Now, I've started setting boundaries probably a couple of years ago. Kellyanne Madox has an amazing video about setting strict boundaries, or setting boundaries, and it's helped me a lot. I've started setting boundaries probably a couple of years ago. I had to, because some people in my life I just needed to get rid of and cut away and cut loose, and there was no other way to do it. And when it comes to that, it's okay. It is okay to say, listen, you're not allowed to talk to me that way. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to make me feel anything less than a human. Because I've had I've had people who collect gays, or I'm their token gay person, gay friend, and yeah, that is not okay. That is objectifying a human. And like, no, I ain't nobody's token. That's for damn sure. I literally had someone tell me that I'm part of their gay collection, or I'm their token gay friend. I'm like, I roll sigh, and yeah, no, bye. And yeah, and I've also learned to set boundaries by making people, well, by telling people it is not okay. This behavior is not okay. And either cut them out of my life or limit my time, because the less time I spend with toxic people, the more time I can surround myself by wonderful, amazing human beings that I want in my life. So, bye-bye toxic, hello wonderful people. Like, switch them out. It's okay. Cut them toxic people out and get better friends. So, what's next? Oh, I think I did all my brainstorm solutions. Now, where do I go from here? Okay, so I am going to set reminders on my phone, because I just got a brand new shiny phone, and I am going to set reminders for a self-date on the 14th of every month. I am going to set self-check-ins at the first and last of every month. And I am going to do video updates on topics of self-love, so I can commit. They'll probably be uploaded on the same day as my self-dates, but I should have them done beforehand and all set to be uploaded and all that fun stuff. So those are my goals. I'm going to set those as a reminder on my phone, and that's where I'm at. And it is okay to love yourself. It is okay. It's not selfish. It is okay to love yourself. I think people need to be reminded of that, because sometimes we forget. We forget to take care of ourselves. We forget to love ourselves, and we forget to treat ourselves with respect. And that is something I'm learning how to do. Am I going to mess up? Am I going to be, am I going to struggle? Am I going to have a hard time? Yes. But in the end, I feel like giving yourself a little bit more self-love than you already do will be very beneficial. Well, with that being said, thank you for joining me on my journey. This is my way, Nathan's way. Bye, everyone.